sure they have the products? No. Let's go in with, you know, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like a wet? No. Everyone is literally out right now celebrating St. Patrick's Day, and I'm like, get me away from that. I don't want anything to do with that. I want to stay home and I want to film my makeup videos, and I just want to live in my little bubble for a while. All right, there are like a million ambulances going by. It's 4th of July, it's not 4th of July. I am taking All right, so that is a pop. All right, before, hey, you, yes you, why didn't you tell me I had a brush hair on my face? You're supposed to have my back. Hey guys, what's going on? If you're new here, welcome. My name is BrittanyNichole, and today we're doing off-duty model makeup. And what I mean by that is we are enhancing our natural features rather than covering them up with a bunch of full coverage products. We're using mostly creams today. We're keeping it natural, we're keeping it lightweight, and most importantly, we're keeping it easy. Off-duty model makeup to me is all about ease and imperfection. So this is not a perfect makeup look. This is just, again, enhancing what you naturally have without going overboard. I feel like we have a tendency on YouTube to really go overboard and pile on the products. So looks like this are really up my alley, and I wanna share how I do it with you today. So if that sounds like something you're interested in seeing, go ahead and keep watching. All right, you guys know the deal by now. I've already gone in with my primer and I let that sink in for about 15 minutes before flipping the camera on. I like my primers to sink in and do their job and absorb before going in with foundation. So today I went in with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hydrating Hyaluronic Acid Primer. I really like this. It gives me a nice radiance to my skin. But if you liked more of, you know, a blurring primer or a mattifying primer, go in with whatever works for you. When I think of off-duty model, I think of, you know, really radiant skin-like skin, and this helps with that. I don't think primers extend the life of your makeup. Personally, I haven't found one. Even those gripping primers, they just, for me, don't seem to extend the life, but they do give you a nice effect under your foundation. So speaking of foundation, today we're gonna go in with the Thrive Cosmetics Buildable Blur CC Cream. I have the shade Light. When I first apply this, it looks a little bit off, but it just kind of like meshes with my skin tone. It's interesting how it works, but it works really well. And again, when I think of off-duty model, I think of someone who's gonna use a dual purpose product. They're probably not gonna go in with a full coverage foundation because they usually do have pretty nice skin. I'm just gonna try to mimic what I feel like an off-duty model would do, because typically they're out, they're shopping around, they're gonna be photographed by paparazzi, so they need a little something on their face, and I'm sure they're working with estheticians and makeup artists who are drilling into their minds, apply your SPF, apply your SPF. So this is just kind of one of those dual purpose products. I really, really like this, so we're gonna go ahead and start to apply this. I like to use a brush with this, and then I'll stipple over with a sponge. This is my AOA Studio Paw Paw Sponge, $1.50 and amazing. This is my Sigma F80 brush, which I am obsessed with. This is my absolute favorite foundation brush. I do have a code with them. It's just BrittanyNichole. I'll leave it down below. I like to take a setting spray. This is the Becca Skin Love, and I just like to give it a little bit of, you know, a couple sprays on the brush, and I kind of just tap that in so it's nice and even on the brush, and then I'll just work it into the tips of the foundation brush, and then I'm gonna go ahead and apply it. So I kind of apply the product first like that, and then I'll go ahead and start to blend it out. So now that I'm done applying it with the brush, I'm just gonna take whatever is left on the back of my hand, and see what I mean here? It looks like it would be too dark, but once I apply it, it looks so nice. So I'm just gonna take my sponge and just stamp over everything to make sure it doesn't look like I'm like wearing foundation on the skin. It looks like it's one with the skin. Every time I put this foundation on, I am shocked at how beautiful it looks. There is blurring technology in this that you can visibly see when you put it on. So beautiful. I need to bring this back out to the front of my collection. When winter came around, I kind of pushed it to the side. I was using it a lot in the summer, but I need to use that some more because it is so pretty, and it sets down where you don't have to apply a powder over it, which is awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my concealer. This is the Pat McGrath Labs concealer. I am using LM9. This is such a beautiful concealer, you guys. It builds up so nicely. You need the most minimal amount. You do not need to feel like you have to go in like You know what I mean? Like this is so full coverage. It blurs. It is the most beautiful finish. It's a radiant matte finish. So it's not like super dry looking, but it's not like wet or dewy looking. You don't even need to set it if you didn't want to. It sets down and it's there. And I love the Pat McGrath concealer brush. There is something about this brush that is seriously magical. It was made to like imitate her finger, and I legitimately think it does because it just applies the concealer so beautifully. I've always struggled with trying to use concealer brushes because I've always felt like there was too much give and it just didn't apply appropriately, but this just does the job and it blends out in like 2 seconds flat and I'm good to go. Now again, since we're going for like a model-esque look, I'm not trying to give myself like a highlighted under eye where it looks like I have makeup on. I just want to, you know, cover up my discoloration. So for me, that's right here in the inner corner and then the outer corner because your girl's got some allergies. Do you see how beautiful that is, you guys? I cannot get enough of this concealer. One of the best I've ever used. It is going to last you forever as well because you only need the tiniest bit. It is a very, very weighty product too. It's just super luxurious, which is totally Pat McGrath style. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna set that with the Pat McGrath Light Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Blurring Under Eye Powder. Mouthful, but this is a very, very unique powder as well. It truly does blur your under eyes and your concealer will not budge all day long. So just make sure you've blended everything out before you go in and set your under eyes. I think we all know that by now, but I'm gonna give this one last blend with my beauty blender. And I like to just use my beauty blender and just a touch of product to go ahead and set. All right, so now that we've got the base done, we can go ahead and work on the products to build some life back into the face. So the key here is cream products. It goes a long way in looking like skin-like and natural and not like you have a mask on, which again, I think is the whole like thing behind like a model-esque look. You just kind of look effortless. So I'm going in with the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Glow Bronzer. I have faux tan. Be easy with this, you guys. You do not need a lot of product, especially if you're going for like a not very makeup-y makeup look. Sorry, I'm starting to drop things now. So I'm actually just gonna take my beauty sponge and I'm gonna start to apply this. If you're more of a brush person, you could definitely go in with your brush here. I just think that a sponge makes things look a lot more natural. Look at how pretty that is. This is truly just an effortless product. I'm keeping it above where my cheek kind of contours, just where I would apply my bronzer naturally. And then I could just flip the brush around anywhere where I want to blend. Just make sure when you're doing that, one end is doing the blending and one end is doing the applying. That is just such a beautiful product. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more. Go, like I said, very easy and add a little bit at a time with this stuff because it can kind of build up kind of fast. And this product does have a little bit of shimmer in it, which I love. You guys know how much I love the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronze It. I think that that just makes everything look a little more skin-like. If you liked more of a matte bronzer, I think Huda Beauty, Raw Beauty Christy has been using the Tantour, or she used it in a couple of videos, and I think that that's more of like a matte, but I just think this looks a lot more natural and just a little more glowy and skin-like. You could even take it, you know, onto the nose like this, and like this, kind of like a, where the sun would hit. Just, you know, don't be too perfect. I think that's the whole thing here when you're going for a look like this. It is not a like sculpted perfect Instagram look. It's just more of an effortless type of look. So feel free to step outside of the lines here. It'll look even better. I'm even gonna like stamp that a little bit on my ear. So again, everything just looks like even. Every time I use this product, I am just blown away at how beautiful it is. Pick this up, you guys. You will not be upset. I think it's around like 30 bucks or something like that, but like the Pat McGrath concealer, this is gonna last you forever because you only need the smallest bit. It is just so pretty. I absolutely love it. So let's go in with the next step here. Cream blush, again, sticking with the whole cream theme. Believe Beauty, the Dollar General brand, actually came out with cream blushes. Thank you so much, Believe, for sending me the PR package. They are one of the first brands, along with Sigma, who sent me PR. They're just so sweet to me. They always send me their new launches, and this is one of them, and I'm already obsessed with it. It is the cream blush in Dollface, which just so happens to be like my natural blush color. I have it swatched on the back of my hand here so you guys can see. Very natural. It almost like blurs a little bit, which I absolutely love. So again, with my sponge, we're trying to keep things simple here. You could definitely go in with your brush if you preferred that. I'm gonna dip and then, you know, tap a little bit off on the back of my hand. I always like to do that. And I'm just gonna apply a little bit of blush. See how easy that is? And it's just, oh, it's so pretty. I love the Milani cream blushes as well. That's a nice option. I love like all cream blushes. I love ColourPop. You can't go wrong with a cream blush. Have you guys tried the ColourPop cream blushes? I don't know if they're in Ulta. I purchased a ton of those when I saw them launch, but now that I know Believe Beauty has them, I'm gonna stock up on them. They also have a more peachy version. This is Tropical Sunset if you're more into like peach blushes, but I'm just adding a touch of that. I don't like to go too heavy on blush. I feel like I'm the only person on YouTube who's not like blush the shit out of my face, you know what I mean? I just like a little bit because I have red cheeks as it is and I don't want to emphasize that too much. So just a little bit to give me a little bit of life, and so pretty. You guys, check this out along with their glimmer pots, which we're gonna get into in a minute, and their lipsticks because those are like my go-to lipsticks. Oh, and again with this, do not be perfect. Take it up here if you want to. Take it up to the temples. Take a little onto the nose, you know, just do what you want. Again, color outside the lines. We're not trying to be perfect. All right, and then to finish off the face, I'm just gonna take some of my ColourPop Flexitarian. This is just the same formula as the blush. It's the Super Shock Cheek. And I'm gonna take the tip of my sponge. So I've been using the tip of the sponge to blend so I don't have, you know, like blush on the tip that I'm gonna apply right here. So I'm just gonna kind of take that and stamp it on the cheekbone. Again, I'm not trying to like be too perfect here. I know where I naturally reflect the sun, so I would just highly recommend standing in front of a window if you didn't and just kind of applying there. Let's hope to God I just didn't have a booger in my nose that entire video because that would be embarrassing, but I'm human and I have boogies. All right, so that is the base done. I'm just gonna go ahead and spray with my Becca Skin Love Glow Shield Prime and Set Mist. I'm just gonna give myself a couple of spritzes. I am almost done with this. I really like this stuff a lot. All right, so let's go ahead and just quickly pop on some brows. This is the total off-duty model product. This is the e.l.f. Wow Brow. I've heard people love the Glossier Boy Brow, and this kind of reminds them of it, but this is $4, and I think the Glossier Boy Brow is way more expensive, so I'll stick to this. I use neutral brown, and it gives me eyebrows in like 0.2 seconds. Now, obviously, you need some like brow hair for this, so if you didn't have any brow hair, I love the Milani Precision Brow. I think that's what it's called, so you could kind of fill in with that, or the Anastasia Dip Brow with a little brush. You can give your, you know, brows some hair-like strokes so it looks like you have brow hair, but this just takes your brow hair, if you have, you know, like somewhat decent brows like this, to the next level. I love it. It just looks effortless too. Let's go in and do the eyes. I'm going in with my Believe Beauty Glimmer Pots. They have a ton of colors, but this is one of my favorites. This is Pink Quartz. Highly recommend a cream shadow for this process. And again, we're not going for anything perfect here. So cream shadows just work really, really well. There are cream shadows everywhere, and I like a lot of brands. Maybelline makes a good one. ColourPop makes excellent ones, but Believe Beauty makes some of my favorites. So I'm just gonna lightly tap right onto the eyelid here with this and just kind of press. This kind of gives you like a wet look, which I love. So again, I'm not going for anything perfect. I will take a Alter Ego #2 brush and just kind of blend out those edges really easily. Like I'm talking 10 seconds of blending and that's it. I'm just looking for a touch, a kiss, if you will, of color, and that's it. Another reason I love these is because I don't have to worry about my dry eyelids right now that I'm experiencing. It's not gonna emphasize that. When I'm going in with powder eyeshadow right now, things are looking kind of dry because I don't know what's going on with my skin. So I just prefer to not emphasize that at this moment in time. You know what I'm gonna do just to have some fun? I'm gonna take a little bit of the blush as well and kind of tap that right at the lash line and then blend that out. It's a very springy kind of color, so I think this will be pretty. And then I'm just gonna take a tiny little pencil brush and run that under the eyes as well. All right, I think that's a little bit too pink under the eyes for what I like, so I'm just gonna grab the e.l.f. bite-sized eyeshadow palette. I've accidentally cracked it in opening it, so that's a huge bummer, but I'm just gonna take this color right here and that same, actually this isn't the same pencil brush, this is a bigger pencil brush. This is a Morphe M431, and I'm gonna work that under the eyes a little bit. And heck, since we're here, I'm just gonna take that a little bit into the crease. Same brush. There's like 1,000,005 ways to do like off-duty model eyeshadow, so just do whatever works for you. My tip is to just make it not perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a highlight. I'm gonna grab my Ofra Glazed Donut highlight. I love this so much. I recently picked it up, so I'm just gonna take a fluffy brush and I'm gonna throw that kind of messily right here and just on the center of the lid as well. And then just blend that out with my finger. All right, and finally I'm gonna give my lashes a good curl, and then I am going to apply my Pat McGrath mascara. I have fallen in love with this. The color is so black, it's separating, it's lengthening, and I love it. And I will be right back here after I apply it. All right guys, I took my hair down, finished up the lashes. I just did one really even coat. I wasn't going for spider lashes or doll-like lashes. I just wanted to kind of darken my lashes since I am blonde naturally, not this blonde, but I am blonde, so I don't have very dark lashes. So last thing are lips, and I'm just gonna take my Pat McGrath Flesh Fantasy Lip Gloss and apply that. This lip gloss is so comfortable and it has the perfect amount of color. So I'd recommend going in for something that looks like your lips but gives you a little bit of shine. So if you don't have the same lip color I do, if your lips are a little bit more pink, you might want to go for a little bit more of a pinky gloss. If your lips are a little deeper than mine, you want to go for a little bit of a deeper color. You know what I mean there? So that is it for this one, you guys. I'll get a bit closer so you guys can see how natural and beautiful everything looks. This is so comfortable. It will wear all day long. If you needed to set with a setting powder, you could do that. If you needed to set with more of a stronghold setting spray like the Skindinavia bridal makeup setting spray, that is the only setting spray I feel like that keeps your makeup on for like 24 hours. You could go in with that, but this works for me, especially because my skin is quite dry right now. I will put a clip in here as well so you guys can see how this holds up a couple hours later in natural light. I love to show you guys what things look like a couple hours in so you could see. I've done this 1,000,005 times, so I know how it holds up. It lasts all day, super comfortable, super lightweight, and just looks like your skin, but better. And that is what I am all about on this channel lately. So I hope you found this video somewhat helpful or educational or entertaining, or just, I hope it helped keep your mind off of what's going on right now. I know I haven't mentioned in this video, but I know we are going through a very, very tough time in this world. It's very scary, but I do not want my channel to focus on that type of thing. I want you guys to come to this channel and just kind of get a relief from all of that. So I want it to be fun, and I want it to be about makeup. So this is the one and only time, hopefully, I'll be mentioning this, but yeah, I just want this to be a fun place for you guys to come to and get your mind off of what's going on in this crazy world right now. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. If you have any questions, again, let me know down below. If you're interested in seeing any more videos from me, please subscribe. Also give me a follow on Instagram. I post on my Instagram when I have a new video on YouTube, because sometimes YouTube lets you know and sometimes it doesn't. And you will see all of my fur babies all over my Instagram. So thanks again, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.